Today, we're checking out Makita tools that actually deliver, not gimmicks. From cordless powerhouses to smart job site gear, these Makita tools beat most Ryobi, Bosch, or DeWalt options. Let's see which Makita tools are worth your money in 2026. Number 10, we have the Makita Robotic Vacuum DRC 300 PT. Okay, let's start with the weirdest Makita tool. Yes, Makita makes a robotic vacuum, and while it looks like a gimmick, this thing is surprisingly serious. It runs on two 18-volt LXT batteries, maps spaces with LiDAR, avoids obstacles, and even handles fine construction dust thanks to its HEPA filter. This isn't for your living room. It's meant for warehouses, large job sites, or showrooms. Compared to DeWalt's cordless vacs or Bosch's portable units, this one actually maps the space intelligently instead of bouncing around like a toy. Here's the reality. It's $1,600 to $2,000. For most DIYers, that's insane. But if you manage crews and need hands-free cleanup while work is still happening, it's legitimately impressive. Definitely niche, but still a Makita tool that shows how far the brand will push innovation. Number 9, we have the Makita Finishing Sander, BO 3710. This is one of those Makita tools that doesn't get hype but quietly earns respect. It's a corded finishing sander, lightweight, runs at 11,000 OPM, and has very low vibration. The rubberized grip and well-balanced design mean you can sand trim, cabinets, or furniture for hours without killing your hands. Compared to Ryobi's budget sanders or Milwaukee's premium models, this one just feels predictable and solid. Dust collection is built in and reasonable, won't catch everything, but it keeps your workspace much cleaner. Price is usually $70 to $90, which makes it one of the most practical Makita tools if you want high reliability without overpaying. Number 8, we have the Makita Drywall Sander. If you've ever spent hours sanding ceilings, you already know why this Makita tool exists. The brushless motor is mounted at the sanding head, keeping it balanced and reducing fatigue. The swivel head actually glides over ceilings and walls, and the adjustable extension lets you reach high spots without constant ladder trips. Add AWS dust control, and your vacuum turns on automatically. Compared to Bosch's drywall sanders or DeWalt's corded options, this feels smoother, lighter, and much less frustrating on big projects. Price is a real consideration, $700 to $800 bare tool. That's not for weekend DIYers, but if drywall work is your bread and butter, this is a Makita tool that saves time, shoulder pain, and cleanup hassle.
Number 7, we have the Makita Hammer Driver Drill, XPH16Z. Now we're talking about real power. This Makita tool is a compact but mighty hammer drill. It's an 18V brushless driver that delivers around 970 inch-pounds of torque, enough to handle framing, metal, and masonry. Despite that power, it's balanced and comfortable, no one-handed flailing required. LEDs actually light your work area, trigger response is smooth, and 2 speed settings plus hammer mode give you control you don't get on most Ryobi or Milwaukee 18V drills. Price is usually $160 to $200 bare tool, which is fair. This is the kind of Makita tool you reach for when you want power without carrying a brick of a drill around all day. Number 6, we have the Makita Cordless Heat Gun. If you need heat on the fly, this is one of the most underrated Makita tools. It cranks out over 1,000 degrees, adjustable airflow, runs completely cordless on 18V batteries, and is ideal for heat shrink, paint stripping, loosening bolts, thawing pipes, or bending plastics. Compared to Ryobi's or DeWalt's portable heat guns, Makita's feels sturdier and more reliable on extended jobs. Trigger lock makes long tasks less painful, and runtime is solid. Price sits around $120 to $150, which is not cheap for a small tool, but considering it's cordless and delivers real heat, it's actually a good deal. This is exactly the kind of Makita tool that shows why professionals stick with Makita instead of cheaper alternatives from Bosch, Ryobi, or even Milwaukee. Reliable, cordless, and ready when you need it. Number 5, we have the Makita Cordless Multi-Tool, XMT03Z. All right, now we're into a tool that actually earns a spot in your bag. The Makita Cordless Multi-Tool is one of those grab-and-go tools that can handle almost anything from cutting drywall to sanding trim or scraping old caulk. It has a variable speed dial, so you can slow it down for precise work or crank it up when you need power. The wide oscillation angle makes cutting faster and cleaner than many competitors like Ryobi or Bosch. Vibration is minimal, so your wrist doesn't hate you halfway through the job. Compatibility is solid. It works with most standard accessories, which is great if you already have a collection of sanding or cutting blades. Price runs $140 to $180 bare tool, which is not cheap, but when you actually use it, this Makita tool is worth every penny. Honestly, it's the kind of tool that makes you realize why professionals stick with Makita instead of cheaper alternatives from Bosch, Ryobi, or even Milwaukee.
Number 4, we have the Makita Rebar Tying Tool, XRT02ZK. If you've ever tied rebar by hand all day, you know exactly why this exists. This Makita tool is a complete game changer. You pull the trigger and it delivers clean, consistent ties every time. You can switch between single tie or continuous mode on the fly, and one battery can handle thousands of ties. Seriously, the kind of thing that makes your hands feel like you never worked a day in your life. It's heavy, loud, and yes, it costs $2,200 to $2,600, but if you're on large concrete jobs, the time it saves and the reduced hand strain make it completely worth it. Compared to using hand tools or even some competitor products from Milwaukee or DeWalt, nothing comes close in speed or consistency. This is a Makita tool designed for serious job site work, and it earns its place. Number 3, we have the Makita Cordless Rebar Cutter, XCS04. This is the tool you pick up if you cut rebar regularly and want speed, safety, and portability. It slices up to number 5 rebar, spark-free, without needing a grinder or creating a mess. The 360-degree rotating head makes tight spaces manageable, and you can get 200+ cuts per battery, which is insane for a cordless tool. The brushless motor is smooth and durable, unlike some cheaper options you might see from Ryobi or Bosch. Price is steep, usually $2,000 to $2,400, but if your work involves frequent rebar cutting, this Makita tool pays for itself fast. It's safe, portable, and insanely efficient, the kind of tool that professionals rely on daily. Number 2, we have the Makita Cordless Fiber Cement Shear, XSJ5T. Now we're getting into tools that actually make you say, why didn't someone do this sooner? The Makita Fiber Cement Shear slices through cement board cleanly and efficiently, with way less dust than a grinder. The brushless motor hits up to 3,000 strokes per minute, and the 360-degree rotating head makes cutting awkward corners or tight spaces effortless. It's lightweight, balanced, and comfortable, which is a rare combination in tools for heavy materials like cement. Price usually runs $400 to $500 bare tool, which isn't cheap, but if you work with fiber cement regularly, this is a no-brainer. Compared to trying to hack it with a circular saw or a grinder, or even some DeWalt or Milwaukee options, this Makita tool is faster, cleaner, and safer.
Number 1, we have the Makita Cordless Hot Water Kettle, ADTK01. Yep, Makita made a cordless kettle and it somehow works. This is one of the most unexpected but actually useful Makita tools on the market. It runs on 2 18-volt batteries, boils water in about 9 minutes, auto shuts off, and even beeps when ready. No outlet? No problem. Coffee, instant noodles, cleaning, or hot water for a job site wash-up, it handles it all. Price is usually $200 to $250, which sounds crazy until you actually use it. For job site crews, campers, or anyone who works outdoors, this Makita tool is a small but surprisingly practical lifesaver. Compared to other brands, nothing else in the cordless toolkit space does this. Not Ryobi, not Bosch, not DeWalt, only Makita. And there you have it, all 10 Makita tools, from the weirdest robot vacuum to the oddly essential hot water kettle. Each one of these Makita tools has its purpose, some niche, some everyday, but all built to last and all worth knowing about if you actually care about performance, durability, and real-world usability.